Hello, and thanks for watching. Welcome to the WipEout 25th anniversary celebration.
Citizens, be extra careful. PlayStation's WipEout is now on the streets. Don't let it loose your mind.
Welcome to the world of Antigravity Racing.
So yeah, today is WipEout's 25th anniversary. This is going to be a video celebrating the series and just having a look at some fun, cool stuff. I've made previous WipEout videos and I'll put a link to them in the description, but today we're just going to celebrate the series. So let's get started.
3, 2, 1, go!
There's a lot to talk about with these games, and I've made previous videos going into a bit more detail about each one. So I'll put a link in the description for those, but let's break it down for this video and just have a look at something cool maybe from each game in the series. And it's primarily known as a PlayStation series. There are the odd exceptions like WipEout 64, and the original two games are available on the PC and the Sega Saturn too. But yeah, it's primarily known as a PlayStation series. As you can see from here, it's appeared on all PlayStation hardware, PS1, PS2, the portables, PSP and PS Vita, PS3 and PS4. Nothing yet planned for the PS5. Fingers crossed. I'd take anything. Another collection like the Omega Collection, or maybe something cool like a remake of the original game would be quite cool. But yeah, let's have a look at something from each game and celebrate the series. So to celebrate the original WipEout, I thought we'd look at the console from the launch 25 years ago in September 1995. Here in the UK and Europe, WipEout was a launch game, and if you didn't play the game itself, you probably played the demo, which came on the Demo 1 disc that was free with the original PlayStation. Now, I was lucky enough to get this for Christmas in 1995 with the game, and I knew nothing about it. It was a pleasant surprise. And yeah, WipEout was pretty much synonymous with PlayStation, from the game being a launch title and also the demos, which, like say, Demo 1, and also demos with magazines and stuff like that. The game got out there. It was very well publicized and marketed. And yeah, like I say, it was pretty much synonymous with PlayStation from then on. And to celebrate the original WipEout and lots of other video games, the Royal Mail here in the UK put out some stamps recently. And I'm not a stamp collector or anything like that. If you're nothing against people who are, I'm not, but I thought this would be cool to have because it's got a WipEout stamp. There's some Micro Machines and Lemmings and stuff like that. I'll put a link in the description if people want to have a look at this, but it's a cool little collection thing. And it's got a little piece on each of the games. And yeah, I thought that was a really nice way of celebrating games. And yeah, it just relates quite well to this video celebrating WipEout. There you go, 1995. So yeah, that's a quick look at some of the original WipEout and its launch here in the UK. So with WipEout 2097, I want to do something different. A few years ago, they released the PlayStation Classic. Like a lot of people, I was disappointed there was not many actual classic games on this, including no WipEout. I got this a year ago, severely reduced, along with something called the True Blue Mini, which is a USB you plug into the PlayStation and you can play games that are already installed on it. It's a way of emulation. So emulation is a bit of an iffy one because a lot of people don't agree with it. And generally I do agree. If you can, legally buy a game, you should. But with the WipEout series, a lot of these games aren't going to ever be re-released because of the legal stuff with music and things like that. So if you can't pay someone for the game, an emulation is the only way to play it. I'm kind of okay with that. There are lots of these packs with crazy names, like this one's called the Crackhead Pack. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at WipEout XL, which is on this, which is the American version of WipEout 2097. And I've always wanted to play that. And like I say, I know it's a bit iffy with emulation. Whether you agree with it or not, it's the only way you're going to be able to play some of these old games. And the PlayStation Classic was a bit of a miss. So let's try and correct that and have a look at some WipEout. Okay, we're all set up here, and as you can see, the PlayStation Classic itself is quite a nice bit of kit. It was just let down by the lack of games, but as you can see here, that can be rectified. And let's go over to WipEout XL. This actually has WipEout 3 and XL, but we're looking at XL, and this is just a different way of looking at the game and celebrating it, and I wanted to see if there's many differences in how this works. And obviously WipEout 2097 or WipEout XL was sponsored by Red Bull, so first things first, get yourself a Red Bull. Yes. Different logo, obviously. Oh, quick, another Red Bull. Let's skip the intro, get straight in here. Yeah, so different logo, but same title screen otherwise. Let's see, different logo, obviously. WipEout XL instead of 2097. Maybe looks like the graphics are slightly darker. Not sure if that's the emulation or if it's the original game is slightly darker. Oh, quick, get another Red Bull. God, I love how quick this game loads. Yeah, so the graphics look maybe slightly darker to me. Let's see how it handles. Okay. Seems to handle very similar. It runs slightly different. I wonder if that's the frame rate or something like that. It's definitely, maybe slightly smoother. There's definitely something different with the frames. But this game just looks great, still plays great. Anyway, I just thought that was a unique way of showing 2097 or XL and having a look at it for the 25th anniversary celebration. So for WipEout 64, I thought we'd have a quick look at some old magazines. So we've got the N64 magazine here, and seeing WipEout on the front cover of a Nintendo magazine is pretty cool alone. So let's have a quick look in here. Got some cool art, the logos. And this is like a preview before the game came out, so then checking out all the information about the game. There's quite a few pages here, yeah. So that's pretty cool. And then we've got some other magazines. Not a cover story, that's Zelda, obviously, but we've got WipEout down here. And we've got the actual review. I love stuff like this because you get a feel for what was going on in gaming in general at the time, and they gave it 80% here. And there's some cool information in that. And we've got another one here. And this is where they were billing it as WipEout versus Extreme G2. Extreme G2 was okay, but I think it ended up being WipEout versus F-Zero X more than anything. Again, some cool art. And yeah, lots of previews about the game and stuff. And they give it 88% down here, which is pretty good. So yeah, that's a look at some of the WipEout 64 stuff. So for WipEout 3, I thought we'd just talk about the special edition that was released a year after the original. The original is a great game in itself and introduced split screen to the PlayStation WipEouts, but this one has content from the original WipEout in 2097, remade in the WipEout 3 engine. It essentially doubles the content of the original release. I think it was only released in PAL territories, but if you're a hardcore fan It's really worth tracking down as it's a great release. So WipEout Fusion was released on the PS2, and it had lots of demos released that came free with the PlayStation 2 magazine. Some people may remember these blue disc demos. There's a few of these with different demos from the game, like races and zone modes and stuff like that. And WipEout Fusion had a great ad. So let's have a look at that now.
You are about to see the culmination of a decade's research and development involving the vision of companies from around the world. Welcome to the world of anti-gravity racing, the next stage in motorsport. This is an anti-gravity racer, capable of over 1,000 miles an hour. And more significantly, the destruction of the craft during a race. It's about winning at any cost. It's real, it's dangerous, and you're gonna love it. WipEout Fusion.
So to celebrate WipEout Pure and WipEout Pulse, the PSP games, I thought we'd just go over them briefly and then look at a couple of cool things to do with these two. So Pure came first and is very similar to WipEout 3 in style, kind of returned to the classic feel after WipEout Fusion, which was a bit different. There's lots of free downloadable content, as you can see advertised on the box. You can still get that online, it still works on the PSP. WipEout Pulse is evolution of Pure, quite a bit more neon looking, as you can see from the box art actually. This also has DLC, but it's paid DLC. Both are digitally available on the PlayStation Vita, which is really cool, so you can still play these because they're great games. Lots of content, lots of fun. So, I thought we'd look at a couple of unique things. So WipEout Pure has a demo, which comes with the Stealth Movie UMD. There's 3 ships, 3 tracks on this. Stealth is not a very good movie, that's all we need to say about that. And WipEout Pulse had a PS2 port released in the PAL territories. So that's cool, you've got a bit more WipEout on the PlayStation 2. And yeah, that's a look at those ones. So here we go, we've got WipEout HD Fury. Now this is the physical release that came a bit later, but going back, WipEout HD was the digital release on the PlayStation 3. And it's HD content from WipEout Pure and WipEout Pulse. A few tracks from each game remade in high definition. Later they released the Fury DLC, which was a bit more focused on combat and stuff like that. So overall you had a great solid WipEout release for the PlayStation 3. And this is cool because this is the physical release. I think this may have only been released in PAL territories, but I wanted to show it because it's quite cool. It's got some nice box art. And on the inside we've got the art carries on, which is great. On the disc and the instructions. Remember those instruction manuals? Crazy. And we've got this art on the inside here. Bit different for WipEout art, but it's very cool. It's reversible, so if you want to change the cover up, you can. But yeah, I think that's quite cool to show off for WipEout HD Fury. It's a great release, and this content was then again used for the WipEout Omega collection, which we will get to. WipEout 2048. This is the last game made by Studio Liverpool before they were shut, and unfortunately it released with a few features missing and some long load times and stuff like that. But it's a real shame because it is a great game. It's set timeline wise before the original WipEout, so the racing's a bit more gritty. It's a bit more in streets and parks and things we'd be a bit more familiar with these days. It looks amazing and it plays really well. So it is unfortunate that this game never got a chance to be updated or kind of perfected until the WipEout Omega collection, which we will now move on to because that's where this content really shines. What better way to finish looking at 25 years of WipEout than a collection of some of the best and years worth of stuff. So this is a collection of WipEout 2048 content, but improved graphically and with custom controls and custom race settings added, taking nothing away from the developers of this game, because the studio was shut, so we don't know if they were going to improve this game or update it, but the Omega collection perfects what was already a good package. and also the WipEout HD Fury content, which in and of itself is high definition content from WipEout Pure and WipEout Pulse. So there is a lot going on in the Omega collection. And this release had some really cool, unique special editions and box arts. And I thought, let's have a look at those. So we've got the original here. And then we had this cool retro slipcase box art, which is very reminiscent of the original game and 2097 thrown in a bit. I think you'll agree. That looks very cool. And it just shows love for the past of the series, really, that they've done something cool like that. So I really appreciated that. We have the steel case design, again, with the reminiscent colours from the original games. And then we had the only on PlayStation series, which was PAL exclusive, or maybe even UK exclusive. And there's a few of these, like for Shadow of the Colossus, Uncharted 4, Bloodborne, God of War, stuff like that. It's simplified versions of logos and stuff, and I really like that, so I grabbed a copy of that, as I'm a bit of a collector, as you might be able to tell. But yeah, so this has been a look at 25 years of WipEout, and with WipEout Omega Collection, it is a great end currently to this series. I really, really hope there's more. We don't know, but it's been on every single piece of PlayStation hardware, so I said it before, but fingers crossed we get anything. I hope you've enjoyed watching this and having a look at the series, and let's see what the future brings.